Hello, fellow coin nerds. How you doing out there today? This is the coin nerd extraordinaire from North Carolina coming to you for another night of Coin Night live auctions. How's everybody doing today? Let's see. We have Farm Dog. We have Todd Carmen. We have Jim Fletcher, Steve Patat, J.O.B., Joe McBride, Eric Beyer, Bill Betts, Steve Patat, Coin Junkie. Lots and lots of people out there. Benjamin Marler. I bring up my live chat real quick. Make sure you got live chat selected. I'm not exactly sure what top chat is, and I'm not exactly sure why YouTube does it, but I do know that people call it useless, and I'm just going to go with that. So as far as I'm concerned, it's useless. Bring up live chat. That's by clicking the down arrow next to top chat and selecting live chat. Okay, so I have a little confession to make. A little confession that I have to make is that I am not prepared for an auction this week. But I do have a few items that I'm ready to sell. I got a little confused with a stack of coins that I had for last week, and I didn't feel like trying to bring anything up for sale today, just in the event that I got something mixed up and sold something that was already sold. So I decided to go with completely different items. I'm not selling any singles this time around. And so this is going to be a winging it show. And so I only have a few items for auction, just a few minor items for auction, but I do have something that you guys will like. Check this out. I have a schedule of, what is that, 8 different roll reveals that I'll be doing over the next couple of days. And they are going to be exciting roll reveals. Hello, Shannon McCord. And so these, in Adam Chambers and JLB, wow, CMUS Omaha, who am I calling nerd? Everybody here is a nerd in their own way. Promise you, including me. So it's not a bad thing. Raymond Longy, how you doing? Gone to Edge S. Akram Khatib. Bulldog. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be selling just a few items today. Not very many. There's not very much here. And then we're going to be doing these roll reveal sales. Roll reveal sales, for those of you who may not be into this already, tonight we're going to be selling coins from unopened rolls. And those rolls will be opened live on camera later on in the week. And as I get to them and as I open them, I will be placing your name into a bag should you purchase coins from this deal. And when I pull your name out of the bag, you get that coin. You get the next coin in the roll. We take a look at it, we talk about it, we educate about it, and then we stick it in a flip, get it ready to send to you. Now, if that happens to be a die variety, I will attribute the die variety. If it happens to be a die variety that I need a photograph of, I will take a photograph of the die variety and I will give you credit for that coin on the website on coppercoins.com. Vidal Gonzalez, Stonecutter, Jim Fletcher. Hey, how is everybody doing? So that's our big thing for this evening, is that. And so we will eventually get to that point, but for right now, I just want to handle a few minor items. This is my first item for tonight, and I don't have any pictures of it except for this. We have 1962D uncirculated machine-wrapped rolls. These are not the absolute prettiest rolls in the world on the outside, but the coins inside should be nice and bright uncirculated coins. They're 1962 Denver. I have this roll available now. Let me bring up my sheet. I'm going to start this roll at $2. This roll is 1962D original bank wrap roll. Who wants to start this off at $2? Eric Beyer started at $2. Eric Beyer gives us $2 for this one. And Coin Junkie comes out with $2, and Stonecutter comes out with $2. We got 3 people at $2. JLB's at $4. And Coin Junkie throws in $3. Stonecutter at $3. JLB's still at $4. And Joe McBride comes with $5. And Stonecutter throws in $6. Hitting the Y first, I'm assuming. Akram Khatib comes in at 7. That's right. Stonecutter at 750. Akram Khatib comes in at $7. Stonecutter at 750. Job, it's not Job, at 8. Job gives us an $8 bid. Let's go ahead and stop the bidding right there. I'm going to give an opportunity. This is an opportunity here to own one of these less than perfect 1962D uncirculated rolls. I have 5 of them available right here. I've got 5 of them. We can see that they're not all the prettiest in the world, but they are original 1962D rolls. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back the line. I'm going to offer these at $3 a piece. $3 a piece to our highest bidders. I've got 5 of them, so I can offer them at $3 a piece to our highest bidders. Akram is our highest bidder. So Akram will take one at $3. Emas Omaha, I'm sure, will take one at $3. JOB will take one at $3, I'm sure. You just let me know if I've already said your name and you don't want one. Stonecutter will take one at $3, I'm sure. Hawkeye and Joe McBride. I think that's 5 people. I have a total of 5 rolls. 1 to Akram Khatib, 1 to Simas Omaha, 1 to JOB, 1 to Stonecutter. Oh, that's 4. And 5. My earliest $5 bid would be Joe McBride. So Hawkeye came in after Joe McBride with a $5 bid. So Joe McBride is my first $5 bidder. We'll get one. So there's JOB. Simas Omaha will get one. Akram. Now, Akram, did you register with me? You have PayPal? Because I'm sure that you've already purchased on my website, but I don't remember whether or not you've actually registered to bid here. If you haven't registered, you'll need to send us a quick email, coppercoinspayments@gmail.com, and get yourself registered to bid. If I turn out to have any more of these, I'll let you guys know through email afterwards. I see that there are other people who wanted to bid. But right now, my stockpile on these is rather limited. Akram, you there, buddy? Let me know if you've sent that email or if you've never sent the email. I'm not sure. I'm going to go back and check the info and see if you happen to be in there. I don't have you registered, Akram. You have to register in order to bid here. It's free, but you have to register first. Registration is to coppercoinspayments@gmail.com. Coppercoinspayments@gmail.com. You can register to bid, and then you can bid on items. So for now, we're going to have to push you off that roll, get you to bid. I get you to register before you can bid. I'm going to put Hawkeye in. So it's JLB, Simas Omaha, Hawkeye, Joe McBride, and Stonecutter. Get one of those each at $3. Congratulations, guys. Akram, if you want to join us in bidding, just send us an email, coppercoinspayments@gmail.com, and let us know what your PayPal email address is, your real name, and I'm sure that is your real name, and your YouTube screen name. Not very many people would make up a name like Akram Khatib. And yes, I can speak a little bit of Arabic. Okay, next up is this 1956. You can see there's a few little spots on the coin in there inside the tube. But this is a 1956 old tubed roll of Lincoln cents. It may or may not be in the best condition. I'm not exactly sure. We're going to reduce the starting bid to $6. Reducing the starting bid to $6. Who wants to start at $6? Start this 1956 roll. This is 1956 Philadelphia. It is an old original tubed plastic roll. It does have a couple of minor issues on the ends. Vidal Gonzalez comes in at 7. Hawkeye starts it off at 6. Vidal at 7. I hope you're registered with us, Vidal. So that I remember seeing you either. You are in. Okay. Got you. Majestic comes in at $10. This is a 1956 roll. It should all be red on the inside. The edges are red. They look pretty nice. Okay, Vidal, I appreciate it. Majestic's in at 11. Hawkeye's in Majestic at 10. Hawkeye at 11. Sorry. I mean to confuse anyone. That 1956 roll of Lincoln cents. I've never opened it. It hasn't been opened since it was tubed. Probably in the early 60s. Late 50s, early 60s. They've been selling these kind of tubes for a long time. So Hawkeye at $11. Currently have Hawkeye at $11, looking for $11.5. Have an $11 bid, looking for $11.5. We can go ahead and count it down. We're going once at $11 to Hawkeye. Majestic is out. Benjamin Marler says $11.5. Benjamin Marler comes in $11.5. Have an $11.5 bid, looking for $12. $11.5 bid, looking for $12. Benjamin Marler at $11.5. An original red roll of 1956 Lincoln cents. These are, for those who may not know, these are wheat pennies. We're going twice at $11.5 to Benjamin Marler. And Hawkeye comes in at $12. Hawkeye at $12, right before Jody gets to the sold to Benjamin Marler for $11.5. I tell you what, the two of you, Hawkeye and Benjamin Marler, I give you one at $10 a piece. How's that sound? Got two of them. Give you one at $10 a piece. They're actually nearly identical in appearance. They are identical in the source they came from. These came out of the Chicago area. Two 1956 Philadelphia rolls. One to Benjamin Marler and one to Hawkeye. For $10 a piece. Hello, Paul Hampton. All right, folks, we got one more roll, and then we're going to just start doing roll reveal sales. There's one more roll I've got is a 1958 Lincoln cent roll. This is a 1958 Lincoln cent roll, presumably from the same source as the 1956 Lincoln cent rolls. The typing is the same, the label is the same size, appears to be the same age, and they did come from the same source. So they came in the same collection. This is a 1958 roll. We're going to start these at $6. Start 1958 roll at $6. Who wants to start this off at $6? Majestic pops right out with 10. Majestic's at 10. Sorry I messed you up, Penny Parent. Stonecutter comes in $11. Stonecutter with an $11 bid. Levels of Madness at 12. Stonecutter 11, Levels of Madness at 12, and CMUS Omaha comes in at $13. We have a $13 bid on this roll. And Stonecutter at 14. Stonecutter at 14, we currently have a $14 bid. And Bulldog comes in at 15. We got Bulldog at $15 looking for 15.5. A $15 bid looking for 15.5. Thank you, Akram. I appreciate it. Sorry you had to miss out on that. It's just we've had people bid and say that they were going to register and they never did, and we just can't do that anymore. Akram bid $16. Right after Stonecutter 16, CMUS Omaha bid 16.5. So CMUS Omaha has it at 16.5 currently. Stonecutter at 17. Bulldog comes in at 17, a little bit too late. Stonecutter at 17. Bulldog came in just a bit late at 17. Akram comes in at 18. All right, let's go ahead and stop bidding. Hang on just a second. I got a little box of rolls here. If I can find more 1958 planes in here. I'm not sure I have any more. But if I can find any more 58 planes in my little box here, we will do a multi-sale. So far, I haven't found any. At most, I'm going to have 3 or 4 rolls, but that would be the most I would have. And I guess while I'm digging around looking for these rolls, let's take a moment, just think about the people in Jamaica and Cuba who today have been hit by a very hard earthquake, and the islands in that area of the world in the North Caribbean Sea. Had a pretty dramatic day for those people. And while we sit here talking coins, there are people being dug out of buildings and trying to put together what remains of their lives. I do not have any other 1958 rolls currently. No more 1958 rolls in this particular source. I don't want to sell any others unless I know I have them. So I'm going to refrain from selling any more 1958 rolls at present, so we can continue the bidding. Stonecutter has the highest bid at $20. Stonecutter with the highest bid at $20. Let's go ahead and bring the bidding back up. Stonecutter's bid at $20 is currently our high bid. Yeah, I'm sure that if I had still been where I lived in Florida, I would have felt it. But here in North Carolina, there was no sign of it. Stonecutter's got the high bid right now at $20. I'm looking for a bid of $21. Stonecutter at $20, looking for $21. A 1958 Philadelphia roll of Lincoln cents. There it is. Yeah, this one right here. 1958 roll of Lincoln cents. Going once at $20 to Stonecutter. Twice at 22 Stonecutter. All in, all done. Sold to Stonecutter for $20. I appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Dowdle. Okay. I am going to have to play with my sheet for just a moment. I would also like to officially send out my condolences to the family of one great basketball star I never really saw play that much, but I do know that he had 4 young children, and his eldest daughter perished with him. And I can't imagine the grief that his wife and other children and his parents are feeling right now. Give a moment's thought to Kobe Bryant and everything he's gone through, or family has, because of his passing. It's been a really rough week on a lot of people. Very horrible. Um, let's not forget though that there were also 8 other people with him in that helicopter, and from the pilot to the other families that were there with him. Um, my condolences from Coppercoins for their tragic loss. I'm very sorry to hear about it. I was absolutely shocked when my wife and I were sitting on the couch together watching TV, and she had her phone in her hand and said, "Oh my God, Kobe Bryant is dead." And I said, "No, that can't be true. Kobe Bryant's only 40 years old." I said, "Oh no, it's right here. Crashed in a helicopter." That's just horrible. Absolutely horrible. All right, so I'm back on with this. I have 1958 Denver rolls. 1958D. Let's see, get this to focus in a little bit closer up. Maybe if I put my whole hand in the air. There we go. There's a little spot on the end of that roll. And then the other end looks very nice. Nice red roll. We're going to start these 1958D. See, these 1958D coins. And this tubed roll, this comes from the same source as the others. Let's see. I go resolve this here real quick. As for the order of bidding on my screen shows Akram bid 18. Jody announced Akram at 18. CMOS bid 19 and a half. Then Stonecutter bid 20. Then Akram bid 20. And that's where I called to stop bidding. So Stonecutter was the bidder at $20 at the time. When I came back into the bidding, I gave a good 3 or 4 minutes before we shut down that lot, and it went to Stonecutter. So there was plenty of time to go a little higher, but it did not happen. So that's and it's based on how we see it. I don't know what your screen shows you, but everyone's screen is going to come out a little bit different one way or the other. And it has to do with whether you're on top chat, whether you're on live chat, and it could also have to do with your lag from the live broadcast. And that's what we are. We're a live broadcast. So what we see on our screen in the chat, and I can screenshot it for you if you want me to, will show exactly what I said, that Stonecutter got his $20 bid in first, and you did not say anything after that. So 1958D. We're going to start these off at $9 a roll. This is $9 roll right here. 1958D Lincoln cents. Have a roll at $9. 1958D is known for a number of repunchment marks. Majestic comes out at 13 right off the bat. Fidel Gonzalez at 10. Majestic at 13 is our current high bid. Akram comes in at 10. Majestic is still high bid at 13. Kelly Michaud comes in at 16. Akram at 12. Kelly Michaud's current high bid at $16. Hello, Jeremy. Akram comes in at 18. And Kelly Michaud at 21. 2 Canadians fighting over this. Stonecutter at 22, and Majestic is out. Robert Folk, hello. Stonecutter at 22 is our current high bidder. Akram comes in at 25, and Kelly comes in at 25. Majestic says he's out. Kelly comes in at 27. Kelly is current high bid at $27. Okay, I tell you what. That was more or less to prove a point. So we've got bids above $20. We've got a number of bids above $20. I tell you what I've got here. Get your trigger fingers ready. You're going to give me a number between 1 and 5 for how many of these rolls you want. It's going to be a quick sale. It's going to go very quickly. I'm going to do these at $15 a roll. $15 a roll, and I have 11 of them. We're going to do a limit of 5 at $15 each. On my go. All right, go now. $15 a roll. Limit of 5 rolls. Go now. These are 1958 Denver rolls. 1958 Denver rolls at $15 a roll. Here's all I've got right here. It's 11 rolls. Okay, you guys can probably stop. I'm pretty sure we're past 11 now. Vidal comes in at 1. Eric Bayer at 1. Majestic comes in 1. Stonecutter for 1. Akram Khatib wants 4. Emas for 2. Then we will be down to Kelly Michaud will get 1. That's all I've got available right now. These 11 rolls. So I've got Stonecutter, Vidal Gonzalez, Eric Bayer, Majestic, Stonecutter. See, Stonecutter got 2. So Stonecutter only wanted 1. So let's put Kelly Michaud back in there for the second one. I'll take care of this part. That'll do it. Stonecutter gets 1. Vidal gets 1. Eric Bayer gets 1. Majestic gets 1. Akram Khatib gets 4. Emas gets 2. And Kelly Michaud gets 2. That should be correct. That's my 11 rolls. That's all I've got. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, people, for your bids. Oh. I figure out what I'm doing real quick. My mind is swimming today. Not a great brain day for me. My brain is kind of half dead. Not really working very well. Let's see what I got going on here. Okay, this is 11 rolls. Okay, I've got a few more. I'm going to go ahead and offer 1 to Bulldog. Kelly Michaud will get 2. Emas gets 2. Akram gets 4. Stonecutter gets 1. Majestic gets 1. Eric Bayer gets 1. Oh. You got Stonecutter right here for Hawkeye. And then Stonecutter goes here for the 58. He got the 58 roll. He got the 58 roll. He got his name in before I gave the go on the 58D roll. That one doesn't count. So all of this does. And Stonecutter is the 4th on the list. Does that look right? Oh. I made a mistake, folks. We need to go. See, the 56p. 56p rolls. Who got the 56p rolls? Make sure of that. That was Hawkeye. And who else? There were two 56p rolls. There'd be a second 56p roll, and I'm not sure. I'm back looking for the 56 in the chat now. Benjamin Marler. Hawkeye and Benjamin Marler. Then Stonecutter for the 58 Philadelphia. Then this one would be Vidal Gonzalez. Moved. I should keep my fingers out of the. Eric Beyer, Majestic, Stonecutter. Akram got 4. Simas 2. Kelly Michaud. Two. How many is that now? Okay, that's 12. I can give Bulldog one. Put one in for Bulldog. That is correct, Bulldog, right? $15. Wanted one. Okay. That's 12. 5, 10, 12. Okay. Got it. Get it, got it, good. Sorry about that, folks. I caused a confusion issue in the background, and I should stop causing confusion issues. Okay, Paul, I see you. Okay, so next up, I'm going to talk about this again, just in case anybody didn't happen to get one last week. We have a Coppercoins lanyard here. We have brand new Coppercoins lanyards, and they are detachable. You can just detach by squeezing the edges and pulling. Oops. If you squeeze the edges enough and pull, they'll come out. Plug them back in, just like that. Nice and sturdy. Stick it around your neck. Use it at shows. Use it at coin club meetings. Use it wherever you go. I do have a number of these available presently at $3 per. Anybody wants one, just say Ben. Hello, Mark Thomas. Stonecutter will take one. Now, if you've already purchased one from last week, I'm still going to be sending it to you. If you want one of these lanyards at $3 a piece, just Ben, and I'll include it in your package. Stylish Coppercoins lanyards. And Hawkeye wants 3. Akram Khatib says he wants one. Not for the loop, just for the lanyard that goes with the loop. The loop is additional. So this is the part that you actually get. Right here. And it comes apart. You just squeeze it and pull. And then you can hand your loop to someone else for them to use it. And then when they give it back to you, you can just put it back on your lanyard, just like this. And move on to the next. It does have Coppercoins on it. This is exactly what they look like. They're black. They're about 20 to 25 inches around the neck, somewhere in there. They have Coppercoins printed on them on both sides, on the left and the right side, not the front and the back. But they're printed on one side. And they have this catch and release. You just squeeze it, push, comes right out, goes right back in. And attaching your loop is as easy as this. You just open the loop up and attaches right in. Makes it really easy. So if you have anybody that you'd like to give a little gift to, that you would like to give some style to, give them the style of Coppercoins. Hi, PJ. Haven't seen you around in quite a while. Is everything going okay? And Midnight Silver Run, hello to you. Okay, so we've got a few people. Now, we're just about done with the items that I had for auction this evening. Because I was rather unprepared to put together a full auction for today. And I did not want to take the chance of selling items that I had already sold. So I decided not to run any singles and just run rolls and reveals, things that I know I have not already sold. Well, PJ, our wishes for her continued success in getting better. Midnight, I don't have anything up right now. I mean, we're going to go back to doing a regular full auction next week. I don't have the loops, Misplaced Youper Girl, only the lanyards. My loop is a 10x triplet. It's 10x triplet by Belomo. They're available online. It's actually the nifty little printing is about to wear off of it. There you go. It's Bulgarian, so the L is shaped like an upside down V. So it's Belomo, Belomo. It's a 10x triplet. There you go. 10x triplet. And it's one of the better loops I've ever had. Kelly may show you ended up with 2. Got you 2 of those 1958D rolls. Our next auction is going to be next Tuesday. That's the 4th of February, I do believe. The 4th of February at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, so coming up next, here's what we've got. Coming up next, we're going to be selling spots in these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 reveals. 8 reveals there. Had to count them to be sure. Got 8 reveals coming up this week. We're going to have them both on Wednesday and Thursday evening. But I do need to do just a little bit of housekeeping to get us ready for these reveals. We're going to start first with this one. Not that one, but that one. Now, let me explain to you how these came to me. These coins came in a sealed St. Louis Federal Reserve bag. And these particular rolls, there was a hole in the side of the bag, so I jimmied my way around to being able to see what the date was on the end of the roll, and it was in 1967. Well, I pulled it out, and I looked at the other side, and it wasn't in 1967. So I looked at another roll, and it had like 1972 and 1973 on the ends. Then another one had like a 1960D on the end. And I decided that these were circulated rolls that were wrapped by the Fed Reserve. And in opening 3 of the 100 rolls in the bag, I found a 1974D Lincoln cent that was in very nice condition. And so, having found a 1974D that was in very nice condition, plug my scope in here real quick. And then I've got to wake up. There we go. This was the 1974D that I found in that roll that came out of this group of rolls. So this was in a Fed Reserve bag, along with a number of other rolls that contained circulated coins and uncirculated coins. So there were a few 1974 coins, but there were also wheat cents. This is one of the wheat cents that was in that bag. It's 1955 Denver. And here's just be a normal wheat cent from all appearances. But don't let that fool you. There is the possibility we could find all sorts of interesting things in these rolls. I have no idea what's in them because they were wrapped by the Federal Reserve and they've been sealed since 1974. So given that they've been sealed since 1974, and these are what the wrappers look like, they're white with red stripes. Have no idea exactly what's in these. If I look on the rolls that I have in front of me presently, I have tails on one end, both rolls. And on one of them, there's a 1968D on the end. And on the other one, there is a 1964 plain on the end. So there's all kinds of coins from the 60s in these rolls. And what I'm going to do is go through two of the rolls from this original Fed Reserve wrapped bag at 50 cents per coin. I'm going to start them at 50 cents per coin. They are mystery rolls. We have no idea what's inside of them. But we're going to do a limit of 5 at 50 cents. I'm sorry. Let's do a limit of 6. Limit of 6 at 50 cents. We're going to do 2 rolls, so there's 100 spots. Limit of 6 at 50 cents each. 100 spots. Go now. These coins were rolled in 1974, so I have no idea. They're all copper, I know that for sure, but I have no idea what dates and mints, doubled dies, repunch mint marks, or anything else will reside inside of these. There's any number of possibilities. We're going to do them at 50 cents a coin. We're going to give 100 spots to this reveal. So as soon as we get done with names, see, JOB got 6. You've only got 5 up there. So JOB gets 6. Jeremy Johnson for 6. Got JOB for 6, Jeremy Johnson for 6. We've got Adam Chambers for 6. Majestic gets 5. Jeff Dunn for 6. I have to skip ahead a little bit and start working on some of the paperwork to get the rest of this done. Penny Parent is copying you down as we go here. Majestic for 5. Jeff Dunn for 6. Joe McBride for 5. Farm Dog for 5. Jim Fletcher for 6. Midnight for 6. Paul Hampton for 6. Stonecutter will get 5. Eric Beyer for 6. Bulldog for 5. We're going to have Hawkeye for 6. Steve Patat for 5. For those of you who have been around for a little while, you will remember that we once did a 1975 D roll that turned out some very nice coins. You guys should have all received those by now. Very high grade coins in there. So we're not only looking for double dies and repunchment marks and such, we're looking for high grade coins too. Looking for anything new that hasn't been discovered. Never know what parts have not been discovered. Because undiscovered simply means just that. They haven't been discovered. Gotten down to that for 5. Anna McCord. You miss Wild Bill. Anna McCord for 6. Wild Bill gets 5. Raymond Longy gets 5. It looks like that's going to be all for that. Four or 5, yeah, Raymond Longy's going to get the last 5 spots in this circulated roll reveal. Okay. So, with Raymond Longy being the last person who got in, Steve looking for silver, Donald Harmon, SRK Ironman, Mantic, Timus Omaha, Kelly Michaud, Chris Vines, Akram Khatib. I was not able to get any of you in on this particular reveal. This is a 100 coin reveal, but we do have another one coming up. This one right here. This is a 1966 Federal Reserve wrapped bag dated 2/25/74. I have no idea what's inside of this. There's no clue what's inside of here. But what we will do, I'm going to change this up real quickly. Okay, so what we will do on this is we will open the bag on camera. This bag is still sealed. You can see there's a lead seal on this with twine, and the tag actually reads 2/25/74. The other side of the tag reads St. Louis Federal Reserve. So the St. Louis Federal Reserve Bank bag dated 2/25/74. We're going to open this up live on camera. I'm going to open up 2 rolls. I'm going to take 2 rolls out of the bag, and I'm going to open those 2 rolls. And those 2 rolls, we're going to go ahead and sell the spots for those 2 rolls right now. We're going to do a limit of 6 at 50 cents per spot. Limit of 6 at 50 cents per spot. You can go anytime you like. You have a limit of 6 on this. Original Federal Reserve Bank wrapped bag that was rolled by the Fed Reserve on February 25th, 1974. It was wrapped by the Federal Reserve of St. Louis. My guess is that these are 1974 D Lincoln cents. That's my guess. I don't know for sure. That's going to be my guess. Guys, stay tuned. We're going to have a special coming up at the very end of this. It's going to be something special for everyone. I got to get my paperwork caught up again before she catches up to me. He's working on catching up on the numbers now. Stonecutter, no, I'm not opening it at present. It's going to be opened tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? Let's see. Here's the schedule. It will be open tomorrow. So I'm going to open up the bag. I'm going to pull out 2 random rolls out of the bag. And then I will open each roll and go through the coins. You'll get 2 coins in a flip. Anytime I do these 100 coin draws, we're drawing for 2 coins at a time. I'm working on a couple of other things at one time, which is why I'm not paying very good attention to speaking while I'm sitting here. So I don't want you to think that I'm actually not here. I'm still here. I'm just mentally away. Let's put it that way. I'm physically here, mentally away. Trying to get my paperwork caught up here. Not the easiest thing to do while you're actually trying to pay attention to being entertaining. I guess that's what I'm supposed to be, right? I've got just a couple of more of these left to go. Make sure I got 50 of these on here. I don't want to give anybody a spot they can't have. I also don't want to short my roll any. Are we done here? Raymond Longa getting this. Raymond Longa getting 6. Wild Bill gets 6. Elma Harmon gets 6. PJ Curtis got 6. Hawkeye for 6. Farm Dog for 5. Bulldog for 5. Seamus Omaha for 6. Steve Patet for 5. Kelly Michaud for 6. Stonecutter for 6. Paul Hampton for 6. Adam Chambers for 6. Jeff Dunn gets 6. Jim Fletcher for 6. Joe McBride for 4. Midnight Silver Run gets 4. Levels of Madness for 6. GLB for 6. D. Reese. Doug Reese gets 6. Eric Bayer gets 6. Bottom of the list, we are. Akram Khatib gets his 6. I did announce a limit of 6, Akram. You can't get 10. But it's okay. You're already into the next one, Penny. From here down, PJ Curtis was the last person to get into this particular bag. PJ Curtis was the last person to get into this particular bag. That's 100 lines. I did not put a header so that you would know to stop. Put a header next to sure that you stop where it needs to be stopped. Ugh. Hate not being properly prepared. PJ Curtis gets 6, and that's the last person who's going to get any out of this bag. That's 100 spots. So I've got Eric Beyer, D. Reese, J.O.B., Levels of Madness, Midnight Silver Run, Joe McBride, Jim Fletcher, Jeff Dunn, Adam Chambers, Paul Hampton, Stonecutter, Kelly Michaud, Steve Patat, Seamus Omaha, Bulldog, Farm Dog. That's interesting. Bulldog and Farm Dog came in right next to each other. Hawkeye and PJ Curtis. My apologies to Don Harmon, Wild Bill, Raymond Longy, Shannon McCord, Akram, Steve Looking for Silver, SRK Iron Man. I was not able to get into any of those names for this particular bag. So our next bag, let me go back and take a look at it real quick to show you what it looks like. It doesn't really look a whole lot different from the other. This is the other bag, and this one is also sealed. And this one is sealed with a date on it of 3/28/74. These are likely 1974 cents, but the bag does say 673 on the side of it. Right above where it says, please do not cut bag, there is a 673 right above that. These could be 1973 Lincoln cents, but we don't know. We don't know because the bag is sealed so that you cannot see anything on the inside. All we know is that there's 100 rolls inside the bag. So my point would be to bring out a bag, cut it open just like the last one, and do 100 coins in this bag. So this is another Fed Reserve of St. Louis bag. It's different from this bag in that the date on the tag is different. And if you look above, please do not cut bag when opening. On this one, it has nothing above it. And on this one, there is a 6-73 on there. So the best I can tell you is that these are probably uncirculated. They were probably wrapped. They were definitely wrapped in 1974 because that red tag up above, there's a date on that. It's March 28/74 is what the date is on that. So we are going to do these once again at 50 cents. Going to be at 50 cents. There will be a limit of 6. And when I say go, we'll start counting people. And here I say go. The Fed bag of 50 at 50 cents per coin and have a limit of 6 per person. I see some names in there that didn't get in there last time. Unfortunately, I think there might be some people who are lagging and didn't have an opportunity. I hate lag, but there's nothing I can do about it. That's between you, your internet provider, and YouTube. Go ahead and start copying names on this. JLB gets 6. Jim Fletcher gets 6. Levels of Madness for 6. Wild Bill gets 6. Adam Chambers for 6. Paul Hampton for 6. Taco John. Hey, Taco John. I haven't seen you in a little while. Taco John gets 6. D. Reese gets 6. Chris Vines gets 6. Jeremy Johnson gets 6. Jeff Dunn gets 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Jeff Dunn makes 60 coins. Joe McBride for 4. Farm Dog for 5 is 69 coins. Kelly Michaud for 6 is 75 coins. PJ Curtis for 6 is 81. Stonecutter would make 87. Dunn Harmon makes 93. Raymond Longy for 6 would make 99. SRK Iron Man appears to be the last person who would be involved with 1 coin. I will let the actual names on the lines prove that point, but I do believe SRK Iron Man is going to be our last person on this particular reveal with 6 coins. It might be a good time for everyone to go out there and do a refresh because we do have additional reveals coming up. And if you do a refresh now, we are busy entering names. So if you do a refresh, you might have a chance of coming back without nearly as much lag. I'll give you guys a few minutes to do that. And while we're doing that, we may as well watch a commercial. Be sure to check out and subscribe to Mantic Coins on YouTube, where host Shay Hoffmaster takes you through a fun-filled tour through numismatics to include coin auctions, educational videos, live roll hunts, and much more. Come join in the educational fun with Shay. Search Mantic Coins on YouTube and subscribe today. The best in online auctions just got better. Now you can enjoy Coin Night live auctions twice weekly with the addition of CNLA Weekend Edition with your host, Jessica Johnson. All the same excitement and the same great deals with a new host and at a new time. Come join in the fun this weekend. I knew you guys would like that. That's why I went to it. I promise I'll be doing more in the near future. Just right now, I've had a bad week. It's been a rough week for me. Jeremy just found the major 1995 DDO. Well, I can tell you the reason it isn't worth a lot is because there's probably 50, 60,000 of them out there that are graded. It's just there's a huge number of them out there. The die lived a full life. They were discovered quite early. A number of them were pulled out of original rolls pretty early. And they have to be in very high grade for them to be worth any more than $50. It looks like we're just about to get caught up here. Working on it, ain't. On these reveal shows, it takes a long time to get caught up because we're having to hand enter everyone. Looks like Raymond Longy was the last person. Was he the last person on that? Must have miscounted that I was going through because Raymond Longy was the last person in. He only got one coin. Must have missed somebody back there somehow, some way. So the people who did get into this one were G.O.B. Jim Fletcher, Levels of Madness, Wild Bill, Adam Chambers, Paul Hampton, Taco John, D. Reese, Chris Vines, Jeremy Johnson, Jeff Dunn, Joe McBride, Farm Dog, Kelly Michaud, P.J. Curtis, Stonecutter, Don Harmon, and Raymond Longy got one at the end. That's all we were able to get in there. So let's move on to our next one. Here's our next one right there. That's an original 1950 Denver roll. 1950 Denver roll from the Federal Reserve Bank of Cincinnati. It's a Cincinnati branch of the Federal Reserve Bank of Cleveland, Ohio. And this roll, folks, this is an original bank wrapped roll. It's in pretty good shape. The coins on the end look very nice. And I am going to do this one at $5 per coin. Going to have a limit of 2 per person. Can't get in there before I get my name in there. You got to give you guys the go on it. And my limit is 2 per coin. 2 per person, I'm sorry, 2 per person. It's only a 50 coin lot, so Let's go. $5 a coin, limit of 2 per person, going to sell fast. All right, Eric Beyer is first up there with 2. Midnight Silver Run for 2. Adam Chambers for 2. Jim Fletcher gets his 2. Raymond Longy for 2. Taco John for 2. Joe McBride for 2. And Wild Bill for 2. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Kelly Michaud for 1. J.O.B. for 1. 9. Farm Dog gets 1. Paul Hampton gets 2. That's going to be 21 coins out of the roll. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times 2 is 16, 19, 21. Don Harmon gets 2. That's 23. Stonecutter will get 1. That's 24. Shannon McCord for 1. That's 25. Bulldog gets 2. That's 27. Hawkeye for 2. That's 29. D. Reese Coins and Hobbies for 2. That's 31. SRK Iron Man will get 2. 33. Steve Patet for 2. That's 35. Jeremy Johnson for 2 will be 37. Majestic Sounds of Coins will be 39. EJ Curtis for 1 will be 40. New Marshall, we can only do 2 right now. So New Marshall will get 2. Will be 42. Hawkeye for 2 is 44. Levels of Madness for 1 would be 45. So as it appears, we're going to have 45 spots taken. There will probably be 5 available. I don't want to make that a certain announcement until sure. Looks like we've got 1 slot left, folks. Anybody who has not gotten in on this so far thinks they want to take a chance on getting a nice 1950D Lincoln Cent. There's Deanne right there. Hi, Deanne. Deanne and Deanne's alter ego. I'm working on getting us all caught up here. Still got more paperwork. I'm counting these lines out to make sure I've got 50 per roll, so I'm not selling any that don't. They can be a little difficult. I finally went out and got my license plate from North Carolina today, believe it or not. Took me a little while, but I finally got my title from Florida. Getting a title from Florida is like pulling teeth. In fact, getting anything from the state of Florida and Tallahassee is pulling teeth. Yeah, this 1950D roll is not from the same source. It could have different RPMs. It could have double dies. It could have pretty much anything in it. Okay, so we've got this one all accounted for. Let me move on. Let's see. Deanne got the last spot in that. Stonecutter got the one before that. Steve Looking for Silver got 2. Levels of Madness got 2. Hawkeye got 2. New Marshall got 2. And everyone above them got what they asked for in this particular roll. Making sure all the slots are filled and all the numbers are right. Moving on to our next one. Here's our next one right here. Now, this one's interesting because the writing on this wrapper is so hard to read, but this does have a bank name on it. It is the Portland branch of the Federal Reserve Bank of San Francisco. So we do have San Francisco and Kansas City rolls coming up this week for our Super Bowl fans. There is a Fed Reserve of San Francisco and a Fed Reserve of Kansas City. But this is Fed Reserve Bank of Portland. It's a branch of the San Francisco Fed Reserve. Yeah, I got the first in flight plate. Not that I wanted it. I'm actually going to get a Desert Storm veteran plate, but I have to go through the VA and have them fill out paperwork and sign paperwork and take it back over to the DMV for their graces to order the plate so that I can get it in the mail a few weeks later. But until then, I have to deal with a first in flight plate. Hidden, I don't have anything else for auction tonight. At present, I have auctioned off all the rolls that I'm going to auction, and now we're working on the roll reveals. So I do not yet. I will have a lot of regular coins coming up in next week's Tuesday night auction. I'm going to start working on those tonight. Okay, so here we go. This is the 1954S. 1954S roll. We're going to do these at $4 per coin. Wait till I say go. Wait until I say go. Limit of 2 coins per person. All right, here you go. $4 per coin, limit of 2 coins per person. Go now. Limit of 2 per person. Bulldog will get 2. Joe McBride will get 2. Oh, boy, the screen flies. That was fast. Kid did okay identifying myself to the enemy if we're ever invaded. Oh, you mean with the Gulf War vet plate? Um, I have no problem with announcing to my enemy that I was their enemy. I have no problem with that at all. I'm a very proud American. All right, so we're going down this list at $4 per coin. Bulldog is first with 2. Joe McBride for 1. Levels of Madness gets 2. GLB gets 1. Jim Fletcher will get 2. Paul Hampton for 2. Eric Bayer gets 2. Midnight Silver Run gets 2. Taco John for 2. Wild Bill for 2. Farm Dog will get 1. Adam Chambers for 2. Stonecutter for 2. D. Reese will get 2. Kelly Michaud will get 2. Don Harmon will get 2. Shannon McCord gets 1. SRK Iron Man will get 2. Okay, we'll get 2. PJ Curtis will get 2. Steve Patat will get 2. Have to check and make sure that I'm going to have spaces below that. Bulldog re-announced that he wanted some and gets 2, but those 2 were going to come in the beginning of the roll. You first, Bulldog. So Steve Patat's 2, and then Deanne gets 2. Steve Looking for Silver will get 2. And New Marshall will get 2. Well, I don't care who's running the DMVs. I really don't. I'm not trying to hide from anybody. Jeremy Johnson gets 2. Akram will get 2. And that leaves us two at the very end. Have anybody who has not spoken up yet who would like to try to get a spot in this 1954 S roll at $4 a coin? I have two spots open. Give that just a couple of seconds. Raymond Longy will get two. So Raymond Longy will take the last two spots in that roll. Thank you very much. Okay, next up, we have this. It's a 1956 D roll. This 1956 D roll is one of the old pop cap plastic tube rolls. They're a little difficult to get open, and once you do get them open, you never get them closed like they came open. So this little guy has been sealed for a long time like this. This is a 1956 D roll. We're going to be doing this $2 per coin. There's lots of RPMs in this issue. I'm going to do a limit of 2 coins per person. With a limit of 2 coins per person, $2 per coin, let's go ahead and get started now. Yeah, kid did okay. People like us have attitudes. Once we've been in war, nobody scares us. I'm afraid of no man. Doesn't make any difference. Are we down to... Jody's counting them as it appears. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46, 48, 50. Akram Khatib will be the last person on this that I can see. It appears as though the spot's sold at that point. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Yeah. Akram Khatib is the last person in this roll. We kind of bring ourselves down to a point where through years and years of, I guess, dealing with our war skeletons, dealing with our past, we tend to not really give a whole lot of energy toward being afraid of anything. Except our own heads. So, bring them on. Let's see, Jeremy. You're talking about the... Yeah. The 1956 D-roll, you did get 2 spots. We get that all filled up? What happened here? Let's see. I gotta go back. Taco John got 2. Joe McBride for 2. Eric Beyer for 2. Jim Fletcher for 2. Levels of Madness got 2. Kelly Michaud will get 2. Paul Hampton will get 2. Raymond Longy will get 2. Farm Dog for 2. Midnight Silver Run for 2. Steve Looking for Silver gets 2. Stonecutter gets 2. Hawkeye gets 2. Donald Harmon gets 2. Robert Adams will get 2. Deanne will get 2. Bulldog for 2. PJ Curtis for 2. Jeff Dunn for 2. Shannon McCord for 2. D. Reese needs to get 2. You just put him at the bottom. D. Reese for 2. Wild Bill for 2. Akram for 2. I do believe that's going to finish it off. Let's see. Wild Bill gets 2. Akram gets 2. Shannon McCord, D. Reese, Adam Chambers, and Jeremy Johnson. I skipped Steve Patat, didn't I? Skip Steve Patat. So Steve Patat gets 2. Marshall gets 2. Wild Bill gets 2. And then Akram gets 2. What I counted out. So Akram will get 2. And that's it. That will finish off the roll. So we ended up with, and listen up here, these are all 2 spots apiece. Taco John, Joe McBride, Eric Beyer, Jim Fletcher, Levels of Madness, Kelly Michaud, Paul Hampton, Raymond Longy, Farm Dog, Midnight, Steve Looking for Silver, Stonecutter, Hawkeye, Donald Harmon, Robert Adams, Deanne, Bulldog, PJ Curtis, Jeff Dunn, Shannon McCord, D. Reese, Steve Patat, New Marshall, Wild Bill, and Akram Khatib. Those are the only people who are able to get into this particular roll. 50 coins a roll. It can only take the first 50 people. Yeah, let me put up the schedule here real quick. There's the schedule for you. So the 3 Fed Wrap bags and the 1950D roll will be on Wednesday. And then the 1954S, 56D, 57D, and 58D rolls will all be on Thursday. And these times are all Eastern time, so if you live in a different time zone, make sure you account for the difference in time between your time zone and the Eastern time zone. Okay, now we're moving on to number 71. This is going to be coin roll hunting with Coppercoins. Original roll reveal number 71. It's going to be a 1957D original Kansas City Fed wrapped roll. This is a Kansas City Federal Reserve wrapped roll. Let me show the roll to you here real quick. There it is, Fed Reserve Bank of Kansas City, wrapped in 1957. These are 1957D Lincoln cents. And I'm going to start these at $2 per coin. A limit of 2 per person. $2 per coin, limit of 2 per person. You can go now. A good way to get uncirculated coins. Take a chance on finding some double dies, repunch mint marks. Every coin in this roll will go to the people who are entered into this roll at $2 per coin right now. Looks like we've got enough names. We're going to be full. Jim Fletcher will get 2. Jeremy Johnson will get 2. Doug Reese gets 2. Eric Beyer gets 2. Adam Chambers gets 2. Farm Dog will get 2. Paul Hampton will get 2. Kelly Michaud will get 2. GLB will get 1. Taco John gets 2. Levels of Madness for 2. Kuds R Us. Robert Adams will get 2. SRK Iron Man will get 2. Joe McBride will get 2. Bulldog will get 2. Beyond that, I'm going to have to count. Yeah, it's 29. So Donald Harmon will get 2 for 31. Shannon McCord gets 2 for 33. Steve Looking for Silver gets 2 for 35. Hawkeye gets 2 for 37. DJ Curtis gets 2 for 39. Stonecutter gets 2 for 41. Deanne gets 2 for 43. New Marshall gets 2 for 45. Steve Patet gets 2 for 47. And Hawkeye will get 2 for 49. We got 49. Let's put the last spot on reserve. And I'll give it away. Already said it. I'm going to put the last spot on reserve and give it away during the reveal. I do that once. Last spot of this roll is on reserve. We have a full complement of people for this roll, so I will move on and discuss the next roll. The next one's going to be a 1958D roll. This 1958D roll comes from my Chicago Horde. They're relatively clean coins. I've already seen one of the rolls. And I do believe these are the same. Let's see. These could be the same as the coins that I opened last week. 1958D plastic tubed roll. These have not been seen. I have no idea what's inside the roll. I'm assuming that there are more 1958D uncirculated coins, and I'm assuming there are 50 of them. These are going to be at $2 per coin, with a limit of 2 per person. Go now. Got a number of spots anybody can get in. It's only 33, 35. Got 35 coins spoken for in the roll. 37. Got 37 spoken for. We have 13 coins left. 37 down, 13 remaining. If anybody else who's not yet made it into this roll, we have 13 spots. There's 11 spots. D-Reese gets in. We now have 11 spots remaining. We have 11 spots remaining with D-Reese in for 2. Cuds R Us gets 1. Now we have 10 left. DJ Curtis gets 2. That makes 8. 8 remain. Jim Fletcher will take 1 more. And we can do seconds. Akram Khatib takes 2. Jeremy, that's going to go out when the roll reveals from last week go out, which will be tomorrow and Thursday. So tomorrow and Thursday is when those are going out. Steve Patet, you did. You did get in with your 2. Let's see. Stonecutter takes 2. Let's do Hawkeye for 2. Eric Beyer already got 2 in this roll. Let's do Hawkeye for 2. That's all I got. No, wait a minute. Hawkeye's already got 2 in this. Taco John's already got 2 in the roll. E. Reese, do you have 2 in there already? Too. I tell you what, instead of selling these to someone, because everyone wanting these 2 last spots already have 2, Let's just put these on reserve. Put these last two on reserve, and I'll give them away at. Give these two away at the reveal. We'll just have them as freebies, and they'll be drawn out of the bag. So that way everyone has a chance to get them. So those two go on reserve, and when we do reserve, we need to do $0 on those because they're going to be given away. I got them all taken care of. So that's all we've got this time around. We are done. I appreciate it to everyone who's participated, for sure. We're going to get started on these reveals tomorrow afternoon. Let me go ahead and put the schedule back up there so you guys can see it. We're going to start 12:30 Eastern time tomorrow. Yeah, I know that's like 9:30 in the morning Pacific time, but I tell you what, with all these rolls that I have to do, and it takes about an hour, hour and a half to do each one, then it takes another half hour to get set up for the next one. I'm looking at 2 full days of work here, pretty much. Let's see if Stonecutter in fact did. Oh, he in fact did. He did get 4. Stonecutter did get 4 there. I'm going to go ahead and put those 2 on reserve as well. I appreciate it. I don't want to be unfair to anyone. So I put those 2 on reserve. I've already got Jessica working on prettying up the sheet. Everybody, let's give a hand to Jessica for her wonderful performance at the auction on Sunday. She did great on Sunday. She's doing great every Sunday, and I'm glad to have her aboard doing these. Just awesome. Or as she would say, awesome sauce. Raymond, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. You have a good night. She does do a great job. And I knew she would, which is why I wanted her as a part of the team doing this. Her quest for a new computer is coming along just fine. I'm working on shopping the computer for her. She is working together with me to make the money to make that happen. She's going to make some of it, and then some of it we're going to put together from other auctions, and we are going to get her computer started within the next week or 2. Need to get her that computer. As soon as we can get her that new computer, she's going to be doing roll reveal broadcasts as well. We've got some roll reveal coins getting ready to head out to her so that she can do reveals on some of our stuff. Jeff Dunn. I will, let's see, 1679. That was a long time ago. You sure I didn't send 1679? Did get an email from you, did I not? I got an email from you. I will be sure and contact you tomorrow about this. That way we can get you closed out and get that sent off. Don't like being behind on stuff. And if I'm behind on an invoice from that long ago, it's something I need to take care of immediately. I'll have to check on this and make sure. I do have a spreadsheet that you entered open orders into, so I will make sure I get to you on this. 2006 roll from Jessica. Fill in auction. And Lincoln looks as if he's puckered up for a kiss. There's a lot of them in the early 2000s that look like that, and I'm not exactly sure why. They kind of look almost comical. I tend to call them the slug lips ears because it looks like on his face he's just got slugs glued to the front of his face as lips. It's well, I guess you might say kind of funny, but considering it's Abraham Lincoln, I don't really like funny when it comes to Abraham. I have a respect thing, I guess. Go back. Kind of wondering if there was maybe at some point, Jeff, that I didn't receive a payment on one day and then I did the next day and I skipped your order and I just didn't make it back to it. After this time. Trail dice. You want to know about trail dice? I'll tell you what I know about trail dice. What I know about trail dice is I do believe the initial people who discussed what trail dice were and what they represented were probably incorrect. As far as I can tell, I believe that they were incorrect. And well, Jeff Dunn, I have a tracking number for 1679. I have to check in. I'll check on this. I'll check on it for sure. But it was believed that they were some sort of heat transfusion type thing that came from when the dies were hubbed, and there's a lot of complicated science and metallurgy stuff that goes into that, and I'm actually pretty simple about it. Kelly, I do need to talk with you. That's for sure. But in very simple terms, I think it's when they polish the dies and they use a rotary brush type thing, like a little Dremel tool, to polish the dies. And the little bristles of the brush, as they're turning around, get caught up in the corners of the cavities that make up letters, and they brush out of those corners and scrape across the face of the die and cut little grooves in the face of the die at the corners of the letters, and that's exactly what it looks like. I do believe that's exactly what happens, and I don't believe that those really have a whole lot of collector interest. Because as far as I'm concerned, they're just overpolished dies. But there are other people who believe that they have some reason for having been created as doubled dies of some sort. The wavy step coins are proven now to be trail dies, and the trails off of Liberty and the trails off of the reverse of the coins, and there's a lot of them that look pretty nice. A lot of them are kind of interesting, but most of them are extremely minor, and I think just give us an excuse to collect something that hasn't been collected to date, because we no longer have repunchment marks coming out, and so at present we're I guess we're grasping at straws to find something that has some sort of marketable value, and I just don't see trail dies as being that. But that's what I know about trail dies, which isn't a whole lot. I do know that they're not any more uncommon than doubled dies or anything else, because every trail die is a different die. Excuse me. So, if you have 550 dies created for a given year, and 100 of them are double dies and 100 of them are trail dies, then there's every chance that one could be just as scarce as the other or just as common as the other. Thing is I believe that the trail dies are a lot more common than doubled dies, because trail dies, I believe, are created after the die is hung on the press to make coins. In a lot of cases, they just polish the dies. When they polish the dies, that creates the trail dies. And with doubled dies, they're a little more difficult to create. So as far as I'm concerned, doubled dies are more collectible, more valuable, and more difficult to come on. There was a lot of discussion about trail dies about 10 years ago, because that's when BJ first started to produce his information on them, and that's when traildies.com was first put out, and they've been listing them ever since then. Some of them are very nice and very interesting, but some of them are extremely minor and probably of no marketable value. Just like RPMs, some of them are very nice, some of them are very valuable, and then other ones have very little marketable value. Same thing happens with double dies too. You've got some that are very nice and some that are extremely minor. So it's going to be a matter of taste as to who collects what, why, and for what reason. But the trail dies, when the discussion first started about what trail dies were and about what to expect of what trail dies were, I think was incorrect. I think correctly, trail dies are just polished dies, and they're polished with a like a spinner with little bristles coming out of it, like a brush, like a spinner brush. You take that and you go into any cavity that has a corner. Those bristles of those brushes will come together in the corner, and then as soon as it comes off the corner, it will create a line straight off that corner in the direction that the bristles are turning or rotating. And that's all it looks like. And as far as I'm concerned, that's all it is. And so if you want to collect lines created on dies from die polishing, then completely up to you. Same thing as collecting cuds or die cracks or die breaks or anything else. It's a matter of taste as to what you want to collect. I'm not going to say anything is or is not valuable simply because things are of different value to different people. Do I know when the 2020 Lincolns will be in circulation? Yes, January 1st, 2020 is when they start circulating them. It's a matter of when you're actually going to find them. Different places receive them at different times. It really kind of depends. It depends on if Loomis needs a batch of pennies to send out to the banks, and they don't have any currently in stock. They're going to ask the Mint for some. The Mint will send them pennies, and it could be anything. It could be brand new coins. It could be older coins. So there have been 2020s already reported. I have seen a few of them already out there. I personally have not received one or seen one, but then again, I've had shiny pennies the last few days I've not looked at, so I don't know. Chase Manhattan OBW roll of 1955 Philly for $70. That is a good price. However, once those are open, once they're opened, they're more like a $30 to $40 roll of coins. They're only $70 because they've never been opened. So if you should decide to open them and go through them, then you are immediately taking that $70 value down. But you never know. You could find double dies in there. If you do, they're worth a lot more than the $70. So cheers to you. You have decisions to make, like we all do. Five rolls of 2020s? I appreciate it, Kelly. I probably just need to pull my head out and figure out exactly what I need to be putting in a box to ship to you, and I'll get it shipped. You asked the Mint when you'll get 2020 Lincolns. Yeah, they have no idea exactly who's going to get them and when. They just make them. They make them and warehouse them, and then the Fed Reserve actually issues them, and they send them out to the individual wrapper companies or banks who wrap them and make them available to the branch banks, which eventually get into the hands of dealers, collectors, and grocery stores everywhere. So eventually you'll get yours from a grocery store or something, but it's been through a lot of changes of ownership from the time it left the mint to the time you actually see it. Five rolls of 2020 Lincolns. It doesn't surprise me that they're out there already. If you actually put effort into it and ask the right people at the right times and right points and places, they're probably available now. I mean, you could probably get them on eBay right now. You can ask a bank to get boxes of new coins for you. Whether they can get them for you is another thing entirely. Some of them can, some of them cannot. Some of them can order from their main branch. It depends on how big the bank is. It depends on their chain of supply for coins. The first 2020p went up today on eBay. Uh huh. And in 2 months, there will be millions and millions of them out there. How are they going to tell for sure that it's the first one? Or are they just counting on people wanting to be the very first person on their block and then their coin club to own one? I would expect them to be very easy to find in general circulation by March 1st. I would think by March 1st, they'd be pretty easy to find. By May 1st, they'll be all over the country. Um, Likely the only reason that you didn't see 2019 until June was either that you live in a very remote area that doesn't get a lot of coins or a lot of new coins, or you just didn't ask in the right places. And the congregation set from the mint. Congratulations, set. You said congregation twice, and I didn't know what to think. It's congratulations set. Okay. So they've got 2020 Lincoln cents in them? Hmm. I didn't even know that they had Lincoln cents. I thought they were just silver dollars. Kind of excited to start hunting the 2020 Lincolns for new varieties. I tell you what, there's still new ones being found for 2019. There's still new ones being found for 2018 as well. Walmart might be a good place to get them. Um, Akram, I'm actually considering doing that this week. Um, I want to start a new show, and I'm not exactly sure what to do to start the new show right now. But my idea, for the time being anyway, is to take emails with photos and come on line, just like I am now, and show the photos and answer questions. Um, that's kind of the thought. I'm not exactly sure whether that's going to work out, but I think I'm going to try doing it this coming week. So, Akram, if you send to cd at coppercoins.com, you send to cd at coppercoins.com, send your image and your question, and I will answer your question. Still planning to come to the Charlotte Coin Show next weekend. Next weekend. Can you give me the dates on that? I do believe it's the 7th to the 9th. Is that right? Shannon, that is correct. I am not accepting I'm not accepting coins for attribution at this time. I may or may not start doing it. Silver Coin Hunter, that is a go. I do plan on being in Charlotte on the 7th through the 9th of February at that show. I don't know if I'll be there all the days of the show. I may just go the first day. But I need to get that written on the calendar. I expect it. I've got it written right here. Hoop gave it to me. So, get this on the calendar. Got another show coming up soon, I think, that needed to go on the calendar. I can't remember when it was. I have to go back and search. I think there's one in Greenville, South Carolina, coming up in the next few weeks that I need to get myself planned to go. Shannon, one of the biggest issue with accepting attributions is that attributing die varieties is not as easy as it might seem. It's not just a matter of me sitting down, taking a look at it, and saying, oh, that's number 58. Write a number on it and send it back. It just doesn't work that way. Sometimes it can take 2 hours, an hour, 2 hours to go through the process of attributing a coin, because you have to go through everything that already exists. And if you're talking about, say, 1958 DRPMs or a 1960 DRPM, it can take an hour to find out whether or not the coin that you're looking at has already been listed, and then to get the die information with it. Now, if it hasn't been listed, then you end up having to photograph the coin. You have to photograph all the markers, and then you have to put it together on the website. You have to enter it into the website, give credit, make a flip insert for it, put the flip insert together, get the package together, mail the coin back out. You're talking about a few hours per package. And that's a great job for someone who doesn't already have one. But unfortunately, with everything that I've already got going on, and the traveling, the real reveals, the auctions, and everything else that I do here, I do still work as a advertising designer, web developer sometimes, and so I got my plate full. So the thing that I'm working on trying to do, I'm working on trying to get Penny Parent, Jessica, completely and totally up to date with all of her equipment, so that she can help. I'm trying to get work with Jody on getting scheduling together so that he can help, so that I can get Penny Parent, or Jessica, and Jody into doing attributions of die varieties for the Coppercoins website. Another problem is actually getting the Coppercoins website updated to a point where it needs to be for larger images and for easier working for the easier navigation. Jeff Dunn, Cincinnati, probably not. I'm thinking Cincinnati's probably too far away. I live in eastern North Carolina, so I prefer shows that are within 300 or 400 miles of here. Okay, been meaning to ask. If, let's say, you list a variety I have, but Variety Vista doesn't, would it still qualify as a new listing for Connect? Yes, it would. All of our listing systems are independent from one another, meaning that if I find that your coin was listed by John Wexler as a double die on doubledie.com, and doubledie.com, his website, and I find that it does have a WDD number, but it does not have a Coppercoins number, I will issue it a Coppercoins number, have that be the plate coin or the new die, and then I will cross-reference that back to the Wexler number. So you'll have both numbers, but there's no, I don't think any of us actually do any such thing called discovery coin. And the reason for that is because we don't know for sure when you report a coin to us or report a new die to us that it is the discovery coin. Um, it could be the discovery coin for one entity or another, but it's not necessarily the discovery coin. So what we are going to do is list die varieties as a new die for us and not call the coin a discovery coin. If we photograph the coin for the website or for a book or for any other purpose, we're going to call it a plate coin. Let's call it a plate coin. Then a plate coin can be considered the first for that particular entity. YouTube you will use for Coppercoins. Oh, the Jessica Johnson. Ah, okay. She logged out as Penny Parent and logged in as Jessica Johnson. I'll add you as a mod here. And I guess when I go to your channel, you'll be able to mod me. But I believe, try it again. Say something in the chat and see if you're modded now. Okay, you are. So there we go. We are probably going to say goodbye to Penny Parent and say hello to Jessica Johnson. She is the same person. All right, folks. Well, it's getting up on 10 o'clock now. Been on here for a while. Isn't that cool, Majestic? You knew it. Yes, she is. Helps with confusion for Penny Parent to Jessica. She is Jessica Johnson and she is Penny Parent. Eric, I appreciate it, brother. You stop back next week. We'll have more items up for auction. Today was just kind of a slow day for me. Been a kind of a bad week. We will be sending invoices tonight, Kelly. And I appreciate it, Shannon. And everyone else. I appreciate all of you showing up. I appreciate all of you being here. And I'm looking into the possibility of starting a new show, but it will be another week or two out before I actually get it started. But just be aware that there will be something new coming on the horizon. Donald Harmon, Adam Chambers, Stonecutter, all of you guys, just take care of yourselves. Be safe. Be good. Do what's right because you know what's right. And I'll talk to you later.